So recently, over the past few years, God has put us definitely on a path of valleys and mountains and lows and highs. Richard was injured at a national team training camp in 2018 in California. He was paralyzed when a baton struck his orbital bone, pushing fragments of his skull into his brain that left him completely paralyzed for about a month before he was able to get brain surgery. And that's when he was transferred to Philadelphia for inpatient therapy for about 2.5 months.
My journey in inpatient was learning how to walk again, learning how to talk again, learning how to shower myself again, learning how to eat again. I literally had a feeding tube in my stomach, so I wasn't eating. I was being fed through a feeding tube. So like relearning all those things like a child would learn. It was pretty intense.
It was literally like watching my grown husband do the same things that at the time our 5, 6-month-old had to learn or would learn in the coming months and in these years. So just again, like he said, learning how to shower and how to hold a conversation, how to pick up his fork, how to walk upstairs, how to engage in conversation, and then not only doing that with adults, but doing that with our children, which was tough. But with every struggle, there came victory. And we were able to celebrate those victories, praising God and just thanking him for the opportunity, because originally the doctors didn't foresee any of that happening. They thought Richard was going to spend the rest of his life in a hospital bed. And that shook us to the core. So again, just praising God for every single victory, small, big, first step, first bite, first word. Mm-hmm. So hardship has certainly led us to trust God more. I think throughout this entire experience, we've learned that, we're not in control of really anything in our lives, because anything could happen at any moment that just completely shifts your plans. So just leaning on God during the darkest days and remembering to praise him even when you're on that hilltop, celebrating when you feel like, you're in it alone, like he's gotten you through that valley, but continuing to praise him when you're finding the success that you were looking for, overcoming something, leaning on him always, I think.
Yeah, I would say leaning on him always is the best way to phrase it, because even when you're successful, you gotta lean on him, give him the credit, praise him for what he's done and what he's doing. And also when you're not successful, understand that he will see you through it and he's with you no matter what you're going through.
And I think some people, they think that prayer life has to be this certain type of prayer that you say and you have to have this certain kind of mindset, but really Christ just wants a relationship with us. And I think the best way you can have that and form that relationship is talking to him like he's your best friend. He already knows our innermost thoughts. He already knows our fears. He knows like what he's planned out for our lives. So I think just having an open, honest conversation with him is really what he wants from us.
Even when I was in the hospital or in the rehab center and I couldn't talk, I was definitely having a conversation with God, like, hey, God, let your will be done. Take control of the situation and make it your situation. Make it the outcome you want to be done happen. So that helped me get through a lot of days where I wasn't able to walk or I wasn't able to use my arms, or, I couldn't shower myself, or I had to have all this help. But that definitely got me through a lot of those hard times.
Overcoming doesn't always look like this sudden victory. It's not like he's going to get out of his hospital bed and instantly get up and walk and start talking and act like the old Richard Perry. I think something that God has really put on our hearts is in his time, and you'll overcome in God's time. And that's the perseverance part. That's taking the struggles, the trials, giving them to him daily.
A passage that's been helpful for us is James 1:2-4.
Says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." I think that that's really spoken to us a lot because it's literally telling us that the trials we're going through today, the trials we'll go through tomorrow, they're producing perseverance. And that perseverance is going to give us hope, and it's going to make us better people. It's going to make us a better wife and husband, better parents, and most importantly, better Christians.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to live the life that God has purposed for us. And in doing so, show others Christ through us. And I think that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's what Christ wants to do. He wants us to be the hands, the feet. He wants us to be an example of his love, give people examples of hope.
Yep.